Oh, it is an early morning, early afternoon here in Toronto. The Halos picking up the victory in Game 1 last night, trying to make it 2 in a row. Game 2 of this 4-game series against the Blue Jays. Hi, everybody, from inside the Rogers Center. We welcome you back to Angels Baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Cubas. I'm Victor Rojas. So glad you could join us once again. And of course, the Halos picking a nice victory last night. It come from behind victory, if you will, considering all things that happened late in the ballgame. But the Angels picked up the victory, and at the top of the order, Eric Ibar setting the table nicely.
Yeah, Victor, he's been doing so well. I mean, we talk about his glove. He's been fantastic at shortstop. But what he's been doing, swinging the bat from the left side and the right side, has been so important to be able to create opportunities to score runs. First pitch of the game, double, ground rule double to left field. His next at bat is a double to center field. So he's using the entire ballpark, left field, center field, and then batting from the right side. Ignites the go-ahead run here, triple to right center field. Eventually scores the go-ahead run. That's what he's been able to do offensively. And when you look at his numbers, last 16 games, 373. But the big thing that jumps out at me also, 12 extra base hits and 12 RBIs for Eric Ibar. So not only he's getting those hits, they're extra base hits, and he's driving in runs, playing some great defense. Certainly an igniter at the top of the order.
See what the Halos can do today with the left-hander Jay Happ on the hill going for Toronto. The Angels will counter with their own left-hander, Tyler Skaggs, looking to bounce back after a rough outing the last time out. We're just about ready for baseball, so sit back and relax. We're going to bring you the lineups in the first pitch when we return. Angels Baseball is brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world, and by SoCal Toyota. Check out the new Fun to Drive 2014 Camry at your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. Game series. Jay Happ of the Blue Jays certainly not wasting any time as Alfredo Griffin and John Gibbons exchange the lineup cards. We'll check out the lineup for Dino Ebel here in his second and final game as the interim manager. Eric Ibar will lead things off and play shortstop. Mike Trout at center. Albert Pujols will serve as a DH today. Howie Kendrick at second and C.J. Cron at first. Chris Inetta behind the plate. Grant Green at left. Colin Cowgill at right. John McDowell rounding out their starting nine. An all right-handed lineup facing the 31-year-old left-hander, native of Peru, Illinois, by the name of Jay Happ.
And Happ fastball, 89-94, slider, curveball, changeup. But the keys to be successful against Happ, inner half plate success. He throws a lot of fastballs in against right-handed batters and see as many pitches as possible. This is his second start of the season, so work that pitch count and get to the bullpen. Certainly not a plus this season for Toronto.
Check out the defense for the Blue Jays. Cabrera, Bautista, Tollefson in the outfield from left to right. The infield has Francisco, Reyes, Getson, and Encarnacion. Easy for me to say from third to first. And it's Eric Kratz behind the plate.
And Bautista getting the start in center. We're so used to him in right field. Strong throwing arm from that position has made this will be his fifth start. His 77 in his career in center field. So you wonder how that he reacts off the bat. The ball hit right him at center. Very strong throwing arm, though. Throughout his career, one of the best arms in the outfield.
Likes to play a shallow center field as well. This is the battle of the alternate jerseys, Blue Jays and the Angels. Game 2. Today's first pitch being delivered by Shumash Casino Resort. Eric Ibar ready to lead things off. Halos now at 17-17. Still 3 back in the West and in 4th place. Ibar last night 3 for 5. A couple of doubles and a triple. 277, 2 home runs, 18 runs batted in. He looks at a fastball for a strike. That's Adrian Johnson barking out balls and strikes today. Toby Basner at first, Larry Vanover, the crew chief, at second, and Angel Hernandez over at third. This one's hit to the alley in right center field, and giving chase is Tollefson. He's there, puts it away, and there's the first down of the ballgame.
Boy, hit well again by Ibar the other way. Really letting the baseball travel. Like we talked about him in the opening, how well he's hit the ball over his last 16 games. The reason why? Trust in his hands.
Triple he picked up last night led to the winning run. Leading off that 9th inning against left-hander Brett Cecil. And that was just his 6th hit from the right side of the plate. Trout homered last night. His only hit of the game, 1 for 5 overall. The home run is 7th. The RBI is 21st. And it was a no doubt in the straightaway center field. Looks at the first pitch strike. Mike has feasted mostly on left-handed pitching this year. See what he does today against Jay Happ. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you'll see Happ throw a lot of fastballs in against right-handed batters, but the more you throw in, the more apt you're going to make a mistake, and that's when the damage is done.
Now back. 1-2, 92-mile-per-hour fastball.
Inner half, and he had a good swing at that one.
Happ started the season on the disabled list with a back issue. Trying to come back in. That's in off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Second career start against the Angels. His first start of the year was on May 5th against Philadelphia, his former team. Two now. Foul. Have just 9 1/3 innings under his belt. 6 hits, 6 strikeouts, 9 walks. And still a 1.93 ERA.
He's making pitches at the right time.
One out, nobody on. Just underway here at the Rogers Center. Foul back. Count remains at 2-2. Pujols on deck. Jay Happ, originally a 3rd-round pick in 2004 by the Philadelphia Phillies out of Northwestern University. Illinois native. Two. This one's down the right field line, but tailing foul and out of play. Wow.
That went a long way.
That might have had a chance to get out if it stayed fair.
He was late on it, but so strong.
Again, they're going to try to come inside. And he foul tips that one into the mitt. 2 down. And before Albert steps to the plate, we'll check out our Hyundai key to the game.
Cold play today. A sky full of stars, especially with Happ. They showed him there. He pitches inside to a lot of right-handed batters, and he's made some mistakes throughout his career. 21 home runs allowed back in 2011 when he was a member of the Astros, and that was just over 156-plus innings. So he will give up the long ball if you allow him to make a mistake on the inner half.
Pujols hits one out towards center field. Bautista giving chase, racing back onto the track, makes the catch. And the Halos go down in order here to start off game 2. We'll head to the bottom of the first, scoreless. Blue Jays who roll into this one 2.5 back and in third place in the American League East with an 18-18 record. Jose Reyes will lead things off at shortstop. Melky Cabrera is in left. Jose Bautista in center. Edwin Encarnacion at first base is the cleanup hitter. Diana Navarro will serve as the DH. Eric Kratz behind the plate. Juan Francisco at third. Steve Tollison gets a start in right. And it's Chris Gatz batting ninth, playing second base. Taking on Tyler Skaggs, looking to bounce back after his worst outing of the season against the Texas Rangers last time around.
And he seemed very confident. I was talking to him yesterday about his start today, but his keys are certainly you have to be able to build on his confidence with that two-seamer. Work down and away, and curveball command is a must, especially against his team that hits a lot of fastballs, especially inner half. Commanding that curveball and changing speeds with that pitch.
Jose Reyes will lead things off, the shortstop. Switch hitter who had a 3-for-4 game last night. A single, a double, and a home run as the first one is in for a strike. Reyes off to a slow start, 207 batting average after that 3-hit performance. The home run is third of the year, and at that point it tied the game up at 3. And that was off Joe Smith. Late on the fastball, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Tyler in that start against Texas, just 2 2/3, 8 hits, 6 runs, all earned. He had 2 strikeouts and 3 walks through 70 pitches in that start. It's a kid who, in his previous 5 starts, had averaged right around 7 innings. Slow windup, and the 0-2 is a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It'll be important for Chris Iannetta to set that target down and away. Give him that mitt. Make sure he hits his spots.
Tyler very slow and deliberate between pitches. Reyes got tired of waiting. Now the 1-2. Chopper toward the middle. Kendrick has to hurry. Gets rid of it quickly, and there's the first down.
Well played by Howie.
Check out the Angels defensively behind Skaggs this afternoon. It's Grant Green at left, Mike Trout at center, Colin Cowgill in right. The infield has John McDonald, Eric Ibar, Howie Kendrick, and C.J. Crone around the infield from third to first, with Chris Iannetta doing the catching.
If Skaggs is going to be successful today, he's going to have to keep the ball down. He's got a very good third baseman here today, John McDonald, who played 7 seasons here with Toronto over 2 stints. The Prime Minister of Canada, he's known up here in Toronto. Standing ovation yesterday when he was introduced coming up to the plate.
Good guy. Melky Cabrera at the plate. Blue Jays left fielder had a couple of hits last night, 2 for 3. That pitch just a little bit high. Cabrera hitting .338, 6 home runs, 16 runs batted in. At .338 batting average right now, good for third in the American League. 1-1. Alexi Ramirez leading the charge. Shortstop for the White Sox hitting .342. Shin-Soo Choo second at .340. And right behind Melky Cabrera, Eric Hosmer of the Kansas City Royals hitting .326. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good off speed.
Yeah, real good changeup. Victor, you know who the first Prime Minister of Canada was?
Dudley Do-Right.
John A. McDonald.
John A. McDonald, huh?
Yes.
Well, hence the nickname.
Yes, he is the Prime Minister. Dudley.
AKA Kelly Gruber.
Yeah.
1-2. This one pulled to third. Johnny Mack has it.
And on cue with the Prime Minister making the play.
2 outs. So 2 ground ball outs to start off this one. That'll bring up Jose Bautista, the center fielder. That's incredible research you just did.
That just came into my mind. I don't know how that came in there.
That's a heck of a lot of typing for you on that computer.
Oh, the truck is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Bautista last night 1 for 4, and his one almost went out of the ballpark. And at the time would have given the Blue Jays the lead in the 8th inning. It stayed in the yard. That pitch, boy, didn't miss by much, and it's 1-0.
This stayed there, even though that's not called a strike for Tyler. That's still a quality pitch.
Bautista 2 strikeouts and a double play ball against Garrett Richards. Unfortunately for Garrett, got the no decision last night. Where's that pitch at? 2-0.
And the one thing you'll notice, you're watching this game at home, you're seeing Chris Iannetta given a number of signs. Boy, just off the corner.
Yep.
Number of signs with no one on base. You don't see that too often.
Two and one. It's been rumored in the past that somehow, some way, signs are being relayed to Blue Jays hitters. I don't know how you do it, to be perfectly honest with you, especially if you look out towards center field. And we'll give you that shot here momentarily. 2-1 pitch. Bautista swinging a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You got the batter's eye, then you have the restaurant, and above that you've got the hotel room.
It'd be pretty difficult to relay that. Tell you what, that was 2 great changeups in a row by Tyler Skaggs.
Breaking pitch is down and in. So full count with 2 outs. The only thing I can think of, it's perhaps the Swedish chef that's up there at the omelet bar.
Yeah, we were trying to find out if it was a chef a couple years ago. Going, that location, this location.
Edwin Encarnacion on deck. Here's the payoff pitch. Bautista hits one right back to the mound, off the glove of Skaggs. Kendrick not going to have a play, and again, an Angels pitcher unable to field his position. Honestly speaking, if you're going to talk about official scoring, that to me should be an error.
There's no question it should be an error. And Tyler will tell you the exact same thing. He tracked that ball. He thought it was in his glove, but he didn't keep the eye and keep the ball going all the way in the glove before get himself in position to throw the ball. When against Bautista, that's about as slow as a ball you're going to have hit back at you, and you're unable to field it.
And it is ruled an error, as it should be. 21st error committed by the Halos this year. So instead of a 1-2-3 inning, now you've got a man on with 2 outs and Encarnacion at the plate, the first baseman.
It's got to clear the mind right away for Tyler. Yeah, you know you should have made the play, but the reality is you have a tough hitter coming up right now in Encarnacion.
That is one thing that continues to sneak up on this Angels ball club. There's guys just not fielding their positions, whether a starter or reliever.
Like we said so many times, once you release the baseball, you become that 5th infielder. And it allows the manager to play the middle infielders a little bit further away from straight behind you in that pitcher's mound, because you field your position well. And also allows your corner infielders to play back, because you can cover the lines.
One ball, one strike on Encarnacion, who went 0 for 3 last night. Hitting .252 with 6 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Bautista with a decent lead at first. A 2 ball, 1 strike count. And this is a team, the Blue Jays, that you cannot give free bases to.
No, not with the power. We talked about them in last night and here early today, how much they could drive the ball well.
Second in runs, first in home runs. 2-2 now. Blue Jays, their splits are about down the middle as far as a team. 260 against left-handed pitching, 259 against right-handers.
And that little comebacker cost Tyler a minimum of an extra 5 pitches now. With a 2-2 count, even if he gets Encarnacion out here, it's 5 less pitches he'll have for later on in the game.
Two pitch. A breaking ball, so full count, an overthrown breaking pitch. Now Bautista's going to be on the move. Next pitch will be the 20th of this first inning. Retired the first 2 guys, Reyes and Cabrera's, on grounders. Here's the payoff. Encarnacion pulls one down the left field line. Broken bat toward the corner. Bautista on the move, will come around and he will score. And the Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. There you go.
Obviously, 2 things go against you there. Not only the error on a ground ball back to you, but in a 3-2 count allows Bautista to be going on the pitch. Otherwise, he probably doesn't score. All you can hope for is a fan to touch his ball down the left field line. If he reaches over, touch, it'll be a ground rule double, no run scored. Fan almost reached out and touched it.
So 1-0 Toronto here in the first. They struck for a run in the first inning last night. The man in scoring position, Diana Navarro, will step in. Encarnacion, by the way, picks up his 11th double and his 25th run batted in. Navarro was the catcher last night. DH this afternoon. Switch hitter. 288. Swings the first one, pops it up behind the plate. Iannetta will give it a look and runs out of room. Not a whole lot of room between home plate and the backstop here at the Rogers Center.
Yeah, we saw that last night on that wild pitch to McGowan. It went right back to Navarro. Be able to tag out Ibanez at the plate.
So says the umpires in New York.
I had a long conversation with Raul today about that. And he felt it was no doubt in his mind that he got his foot on the plate before the tag was applied.
No balls and a strike. 1-0 Toronto. 1-1. 2-out error by Skaggs. Followed by the 3-2 double by Encarnacion. There's Raul. Picked up a stolen base last night as well.
Couple walks.
Angel. Ever to pick up a stolen base. Yeah, the running game last night led by Pujols and Ibanez.
It's quick.
2-1. So now we're at 9 pitches more than Skaggs should have thrown. The 14th should have been the last out. Now he's at 23. In and out of the glove, and that's a pass ball.
That looked like it was a strike. Did he call? I mean, it was right in the middle part of the plate. Just barely off that inside corner.
Chris never turned the glove. So man at third base now, a 3-1 count on Navarro. A long bottom of the first all of a sudden. Navarro hits one out to center. Playable for Trout. Toronto strikes for a run on a hit, 1 error. They leave a man on. Group 1, 1-0 Blue Jays.
A second, Mike Butcher talking to Tyler Skaggs about finishing off the inning, fielding your position, and feeling comfortable with your fastball down and away. The bottom line is you have to help yourself sometimes. And that means fielding your position, whether you're covering the base at first or getting that ground ball back at you or fielding a bunt.
Howie Kendrick leading things off against Jay Happ, who sat the Angels down in order in the first inning. Kendrick, Crone, and Iannetta for the Angels here in the second, down 1-0. Howie had a 2-for-3 game last night. Also had a couple of walks, picked up an RBI. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Slightly tighter zone today than we saw from Angel Hernandez last night. Andrew Johnson behind the plate today. (2-0) on the way. This one's lifted foul and out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now he had 2 singles last night. Had the bases loaded walk in the 7th inning. Then at that point put the Angels up 3-2. He was intentionally walked in the 9th. Three and 1. Angels, as far as their splits are concerned, they've hit left-handers to a .264 batting average. Righties at .250. Better hitting team out on the road this year compared to that at home. Now he fouls it off again to the right. Full count now. Halos hitting .264 on the road, .245 at the Big A. 2 games over 500 away from Angel Stadium. 9-7. C.J. Cron on deck. 3-2 on the way. This is punched down the right field line. If it stays fair, it does. It's going to go for extra bases. It goes into the seats. Now he picks up his 8th double of the year. The Angels get their leadoff man in scoring position.
Well, that's a pretty good piece of hitting. That was a changeup. Also, how he hits right down the right field line for a double, his 8th. So Eric Ibar with 2 ground rule doubles last night. Howie Kendrick is a double here, ground rule double. Off the plate, but it was elevated enough where he was able to get the bat, good part of the bat on it, and right down the right field. If that changeup is down and away, off the plate, very difficult to lift and get a double.
There's C.J. Cron. Got into the game last night as a pinch hitter. Faced Brett Cecil. Squared it up well, but hit one out to center field. It was tracked down by Rasmus. 8 for 20 so far in his major league career. Brief major league career. 3 doubles, 3 runs batted in. Lifted down the right field line. Tollison will watch it land in the seats. One ball, one strike. The Angels last night 1 for 10 with men in scoring position. .220 team batting average in such situations. Now the 1-1 inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Halos left 11 on base last night. A lot of base runners. Only retired in order twice last night. First time didn't happen until the 6th inning. Kratz is going to go out and talk things over. You figure it's kind of a tough situation where you got a guy like Cron who has the ability to drive the ball out of the ballpark. That you want to pitch him in to try to keep him from hitting the ball to the right side and advancing a base runner. But if you miss, you could be looking at a deficit all of a sudden.
And that's why Happ has given up a number of home runs throughout his career, because he's not afraid to pitch inside. But when you pitch inside enough, you will make some mistakes with that pitch.
Two-1. Foul back.
Well, he had a pretty good hack at that 92.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Howie Kendrick leading off the 2nd inning with a double down the right field line. Both teams with a hit. Want a pickoff attempt. No throw from Happ. Bautista very shallow as usual. He's in center field and a couple of steps to the alley at right center. Tollison and Cabrera in right and left respectively, both at normal depth. Big lead for Kendrick. 2-2, foul back to the right. 22 pitches thrown by Happ. 15 strikes so far. Get 1 punch out in the first inning. That was Trout. Ground back up the middle. That's into center field, a base hit. Kendrick will come in to score, and we're tied at 1 as C.J. Cron picks up his 4th run batted in.
Well, that's good at bat for him. He fought off some tough pitches. He gets a fastball in the inner half again, and ground ball up the middle. With Reyes playing in the hole, gets behind second base, still unable to make the play. Job of getting his hands in and through the baseball there by Cron.
One thing we've seen in the early stages of Cron's big league career, the fact that with 2 strikes, it seems to shorten up a little bit. Trying to put the ball in play somehow.
So really, you got that stroke together when he played in Arizona Fall League, because he struggled a little bit last season, but really, as far as making good contact, took that from the Fall League into spring training. We saw some real good at-bats in spring training from him. And so far, successful here now with 4 RBIs in the major leagues.
2 balls and no strikes on Iannetta. Back-to-back hits for the Angels, tying the score up. Chris did not play last night, hitting .214, a couple of home runs and 12 runs batted in.
Career .400 hitter against Toronto for Iannetta.
And that is ripped to left field. Melky Cabrera looks up. That one is gone. Big fly for Chris Iannetta, and the Halos have themselves a 3-1 lead.
Well, he does like hitting in this ballpark and against Toronto. .438 in this yard coming into that at bat. .400 I mentioned in his career. 2-run home run number 3. 14 RBI on the season for Iannetta.
Good boy, Coney. Way to pick him up. Nice.
That inner half of the plate success. That ball ran on the inner half, and he turns on and gets it over that left field wall for a 2-run home run.
3rd home run of the season. RBIs 13 and 14 now for Iannetta. Bases clear, nobody out. Here's Grant Green. Green looks at a strike on the outside corner. First home run for Iannetta since April 16th. As Green takes downstairs. Grant getting the start out in left field with a left-hander on the mound. 4 for 13 in the big leagues this year. That amounts to a .308 average, has 1 double. 2-1. He's fouled off to the right. Halos a triple shy of hitting for the cycle here in the second.
I like your thought process. I thought the same thing, too. 4 in a row. Come on, Grant. We need a triple here.
Here's the 2-2. Takes a call strike 3 on a fastball right down the pipe. 1 down. Second strikeout for Happ. Not sure what Grant was looking for there. Hey, folks, the Angels kick off Armed Forces Weekend Thursday when they take on the Rays at 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive a Mike Trout camo shirt courtesy of State Farm while supplies last. Purchase your tickets at the Angels Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com.
He's selling that shirt. Looking forward to that one.
Cowgill takes down and in. Trout, even though he continues to struggle, but still in good spirits. Walked by our set downstairs in Angels Live and messed up my moss by putting his glove all over his Cowgill. Singles out to center field.
That's not right.
No, right before coming on camera. Fortunately, it's high and tight right now, so it didn't move a whole lot.
He has fun. There's no question. And we always got to remember he's a kid.
As the Prime Minister is introduced here, another nice round of applause by the Blue Jays faithful for John McDonald. Parts of 7 seasons with Toronto, a couple of stints.
Yeah, I asked him about that. He said the fans have always appreciated the way he played the game. Every time he hit a ground ball, he ran it out hard, played some great defense.
First one is in there.
Perfect guy at the plate at first base to put on a hit and run potentially. Over to lefty. Don't do it quite as often. And McDonald handles the bat well. Cowgill runs well.
McDonald 5 for 16 so far this year. Has 1 double, 1 RBI. Oh, 1 pitch. 0-2.
A 3-1 lead for the Halos here in the second inning. That one's down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the order, Eric Ibar on deck. Jay Happ, of course, last year limited to just 18 starts. Suffered a skull fracture and a sprained knee. May 7th at Tampa Bay. Liner that Desmond Jennings hit. And the time that he missed really was primarily due to the knee injury, not so much the skull fracture.
As you can see, he's got a very good arm, good life on his fastball.
Cowgill takes off. McDonald fouls it off to the right. We'll reset, and Cowgill will head back to first.
Medina with a lot of trust in McDonald to make contact on a 1-2 pitch as Cowgill's going.
Doesn't go this time, and McDonald takes a called strike 3 on the inside corner. 2 down. 3rd strikeout of the game.
Second in this inning called looking. And this pitch slightly off the inside corner. So far we've seen from Adrian Johnson, he will call that side of the plate. The other side of the plate, not as much.
Here's Eric Ibar, hit a fly ball to right field to lead off the game. Angels getting 3 runs on a double by Kendrick. RBI single by Crone. A 2-run home run by Chris Iannetta. This is punched to the right side. That's a base hit. Cowgill will round second. He'll head to third easily. And the Angels have runners at first and third with 2 outs. And Trout coming to the plate.
Well, what did we say earlier about Ibar letting the ball travel? Another good at bat for Eric Ibar. Even the first at bat when he made it out, he still hit the ball well to right field. It's a pretty good pitch.
Yep.
Just went with it. Hits it in the hole for a base hit, first to third.
And you got a first baseman holding a base runner on, and gets a second baseman shading him toward the middle. So he took that shot. And it worked as Pete Walker, the pitching coach, is out to pay a visit. 5 hits in the inning allowed by Happ.
Really surprised at that infield defense Toronto had for McDonald and Ibar.
Yeah.
Where Getz almost playing up the middle, leaving that whole side of the infield exposed to be available for a ground ball that way.
And that would lead you to believe that it's going to be hard stuff in the majority of that plate appearance.
So anything off speed, then you would think you would try to shade over a little bit more so, but there was no coverage there.
Cowgill at third, Ibar at first. Here's Trout. First pitch breaking ball in for a strike. Mike struck out swinging in the first inning. Had himself a prolonged at bat before foul tipping the ball into Kratz's glove. Happ had himself an easy 1-2-3 first inning, but now facing the 8th man here in the second. That pitch way in off the plate. Evens up the count. James Anthony Happ. It's J-A, but he likes it pronounced J. You can call him Jay.
Yeah.
You just don't call him Ray. There's the 1-1 pitch. And that is pulled foul. Just out in front of it. Nice snag down there. 1-2 now.
Yeah, well played. That ball was pretty firm. Youngsters in the stands today.
Junior Jays. Junior Jays Saturday. Checked over Ibar. Mentioned Trout his left-handed pitching pretty well this year. .394 batting average prior to that strikeout in the first. 33 at-bats. Just a .248 average against right-handed pitching this season. First. Big disparity between the two. Last year, Trot hit .309 against lefties, .327 against right-handers. The 1-2. Just off the plate. And that looked pretty good from up here.
See if this does catch a corner.
Yep.
And it does, because the catcher, Pratt, is reaching for it. Most times an umpire won't call that. Although the bottom line, it's a strike because it's over the plate.
Yep. 2-2 now. That one's in off the plate. Full count. So Ibar will get a head start at first base with 2 outs. Pujols on deck. Encarnacion will play behind Ibar at first. Big hole still on the right side. Getz shading him toward the middle. 3 runs in, looking for more. Ibar goes, a 3-2. It's down and in. Ball 4, and they're loaded up for Albert. First walk of the afternoon to go with 3 strikeouts for Happ.
Boy, Happ, first inning, only threw 11 pitches. So far this inning, already 34.
And the Blue Jays starting to get action in their bullpen. Albert squared one up. Redmond is the first man up. As I was saying, squared one up to straightaway center field that Bautista tracked down for a long out. So Albert 0 for 1. Breaking pitch in the dirt. Calgill thought about it, but didn't get away far enough. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
And with Pujols at the plate, you better make sure it gets away quite a bit before you take that chance. Good read by Calgill. You want to give Pujols the best opportunity to drive you in.
Albert still looking for that first hit with the bases loaded. 0 for 4 this year. The Angels have only had 3 hits with the bases loaded all season. 1-0. And that is hit out toward left field. Melky Cabrera moving back on it. Still drifting back, and near the wall will make the catch. And the Angels leave them loaded, but they do strike for 3 runs. Double by Kendricks, single by Cron, the home run by Chris. With a 3-1 lead, Tyler Skaggs back out on the mound. He'll face Kratz, Francisco, and Tollison.
New hitting coach for the Jays, Kevin Seitzer, talking to Jose Bautista about what he's seen from Tyler Skaggs, and they're trying to be able to get him out. Talking about how much he's stretching that strike zone, whether it's inside, outside, sinking that two-seamer away. Schleicher's done a very, very good job as far as getting these guys to use the middle part of the field approach. Even though they've had a lot of home runs, is centered to the other way.
Eric Kratz, the catcher, 261 average, a couple of home runs, 6 runs batted in. There's Kevin, former big league third baseman. Teammate of yours.
I remember his rookie year, I think he had over 200 hits in that season, but didn't win the Rookie of the Year because of a power hitter out of Oakland won it that season. But he was some kind of hitter.
Swing and a miss by Kratz, and it's 1-2.
And the one thing that Seitzer was always really good at, because I had a lot of conversations with him over the years, he looks to see if a pitcher will do certain things when they're throwing a fastball or a breakable. Do you break your hands quicker? Do you do something, as you release the baseball, just to give his hitters a better chance to have, an opportunity to make good contact?
1-2, chopper toward the middle, but Howie was shading Kratz that way, and there's the first out. Hey, time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag WestFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast, and it is brought to you by AT TOR.
See, a lot of times a pitcher, even if you look at Tyler Skaggs when he has his glove up delivered, sometimes you'll bring the glove down a little bit further on your breakable than you do as compared to your fastball. And some coaches can pick that up, and they can relay that to a hitter to look for something off speed if he brings his glove down lower. Now, I'm not saying Tyler Skaggs does that, but some pitchers will do that.
Some guys fan the glove even more so when they're going to throw a fastball or breaking ball. First pitch in for a strike on Juan Francisco, the third baseman. 0 for 4 last night with 3 strikeouts. 292 average, 5 home runs and 12 RBIs so far. Oh, 2. It's funny how mental you can get sometimes if you think. That's the last thing you wanted to go through your mind. If you think you're tipping pitches, not that you've heard the rumor that you are tipping pitches, but you start to tinker and tweak things as Francisco goes down swinging for the second out.
Oh, yeah, there's no question. I think I've told you the story before when Rene Gonzalez, I saw him during the winter. This is when he was with Baltimore. He said when I would throw my slider when he was with Baltimore, and Skaggs able to get a swing and miss, I would stick my tongue out when I threw a breakable as compared to a fastball. And I'm like, really? And then I look back at some tapes. I thought he was exactly right, because I was wondering at one point they weren't swinging at my slider. Even though it was the same exact slider from the year before, all of a sudden they weren't, because they picked that up. There's so many little things you can pick up a pitcher will do as far as tipping what pitch you're going to throw.
A lot of times, too, that comes from your own guys. Mike Butcher celebrating his 49th birthday today. It's your own guys on the team that sometimes say, hey, you're doing this on a consistent basis when you're throwing X.
Jim Edmonds was unbelievably good at picking up things a pitcher was going to do differently from pitch to pitch. Some hitters don't want to know.
Right.
Because if you guess wrong, okay, I'm looking for a breaking ball away, then all of a sudden they throw a fastball inside. You cannot get out of the way of it.
0-2 upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I was never a fan of knowing the pitch. I'd much prefer to have known location than to what the pitch is.
And then especially when Kevin went to Milwaukee, I couldn't get Seitzer out. And I used to scream at him running down the line. We were good friends. I said, he goes, I know exactly what you were trying to throw. I watched the game when I was playing third base when you were on the mound. Very good up the middle approach he had throughout his career.
Fairly short, compact swing.
Yes.
2-2 to Tollison. Outside a full count. Got a head 0-2 and now a full count.
And 2 quick outs.
Here's the payoff. Tollison, this one out towards shallow right center field. This is going to be a tough play. And Cowgill makes the diving catch Terrific play by Colin. And Skaggs has himself a 1-2-3 shutdown inning.
And real good communication between Cowgill and Kendrick. Last year they ran into each other. This time Howie out of the way. Diving play by Cowgill.
Again, the third. Hey, folks, groups of 20 or more can enjoy Angels baseball for as low as $8 per seat. This year, take advantage of the exclusive group hat collection for select series. To book that outing, just call 888-796-HALO or log on at angels.com/groups. A lot of Angel fans in attendance here as Howie Kendrick is ready to lead things off. Howie led off the second with a double down the right field line. Eventually scored a single by C.J. Cron. J. Happ's first one is down low. And we just showed you is Mike Butcher's 49th birthday today. It's also our producer, Jay Cutlow's birthday.
Yes.
Very happy birthday to the man we call the Colonel. Howie looks at a strike.
Happy birthday, Jay Cutlow.
All-time best.
No question.
Forever. Wouldn't be surprised if Jay and Mike share a bottle of wine a little bit later on. This one's tapped foul. It's 1-2. There's Butchie. Well, Butcher turned 49. Jay is
39.
I was going to say more like 89. Just kidding. 1-2. Called strike three. Painted that fastball on the inside corner. Haps picked up his fourth strikeout. Of the four strikeouts, three have been looking.
Oh, in that same zone. Continues to stay inside.
He's not changing his approach.
No. So the key to be able to be successful is have that success on the inner part of the plate because he will live in there.
C.J. Cron late on that fastball, fouls it off. C.J. getting to start at first base today with Albert serving as a DH. RBI single up the middle, so he's 1 for 1. Fourth big league RBI. Two balls, one strike. Happ won the walk with those four strikeouts. And Cron rips one out to left center field. Say goodbye. Big fly for C.J. Cron makes it 4-1. His first big league home run.
And it came back into play, so he'll be able to get that baseball. You talk about crushing the ball. Oh, Cabrera threw it into the bullpen, though. And then they threw it back out to Cabrera for that first career home run for C.J. Cron.
Here it comes.
Wow, that ball was crushed. Cabrera didn't even move out in left field.
2 RBI performance.
Weaver got the home run ball.
Second home run allowed by Happ. The first was to Chris Iannetta, the second. Chris has a 1-ball, no strike count.
Well, that's a long way.
Yeah, second deck off the facing out there. 1-ball, 1 strike. Home run that Iannetta hit in the second, his third of the season. 2-run shot. Now with 14 runs batted in.
Cron 2 for 2 in the game with 2 RBI.
Oh, a single and a home run for Cron. You know what that means.
He's halfway there.
Pitch is down low in action once again in the Blue Jays pen. Let's go back and take a look.
I don't blame you getting out of the way of that one. No doubt.
Oh, watch your lips up there as Iannetta rips one to left field. Boy, there's some sound tonight. Or this afternoon, I should say, off Angels bats against Jay Happ. 7th hit allowed by the lefty. And here comes John Gibbons.
He's already motioned to the bullpen when he took 1 step out of the dugout.
Yeah, and Happ caught him off guard. Blue Jay fans are happy, though. So a pitching change. We're in the 3rd inning. Halos with a 4-1 lead here at the Rogers Center.
Boy, C.J. Cron, did he ever catch up to this pitch? That ball is crushed.
Redmond taking over on the mound for Jay Happ. Jay Happ just lasted 2 1/3. He departs with a man at first base.
Redmond fastball 89 to 93. Slider, a lot of sliders.
Broken bat looper to short. Reyes has it. And that is an out. So Grant Green is the second out here in the 3rd inning. Grant now 0 for 2.
Boy, that bat shattered.
Yep.
And he also has a changeup too, but that fastball ran in and shatters the bat with Grant Green. Runs that one inside. Oh, it's below the label on the handle.
Redmond pitching in his 11th game, 0-3 record, at a 3.32 ERA. 19 innings, 21 hits, 16 strikeouts, 7 walks. First one in there for a strike on Cowgill. singled to center field in the second inning, so he's 1 for 1. Ready to find a diving catch to end the second. Off-speed pitch. Kind of slowed everything down to get that one over. 0-2.
He's got sink action on his fastball, but he throws a lot of sliders.
Last year, 17 games, 14 starts with Toronto. First season with the Blue Jays. Prior to that, he was with the Reds. Dropped down. And pitch sailing up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Fairly slow to the plate. I think at some point the Angels will challenge him and try to steal some bases.
Yeah, a lot of legs and arms. Slow delivery. He'll be 29 here in a couple of days. Native of St. Petersburg, Florida.
He's allowed 2 stolen bases in 2 attempts. And Iannetta more than likely won't be going, but you see guys with speed on the bases this early, even though Iannetta has 2 stolen bases this year.
Cowgill lifts one out to left center field. Bautista drifting over. And he'll make the catch. The Halos do tack on a run. C.J. Crow's first major league home run. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Angels up 4-1. For our Fox Sports family, Tom Yohe, in recent years a director for Fox Sports and Fox Sports Networks, passed away this week in Santa Monica, California. Tom was a starting quarterback in the 80s for Harvard University, and after playing in arena football and NFL Europe, joined Fox Sports in 1995 and worked on a variety of event packages, including Fox NFL Football, Fox College Football, and Major League Baseball. He won a National Sports Emmy for Fox Sports' coverage of the 2008 Fiesta Bowl. Tom will be greatly missed. We extend our deepest sympathies to his family. Tom Yohe was just 46 years of age. Chris Getz, Jose Reyes, and Melky Cabrera face Tyler Skaggs here in the third. 4-1 Angels. This good fastball, 0-2. Getz 0 for 3 last night, hitting 182, has 1 double.
And Getz was centered in looking for a fastball away, and Skaggs ran that fastball up and in. He was committed to a swing. Ends up no contact. 0-2 count now for Skaggs.
Breaking pitch, tap foul. Tyler with 1 strikeout, no walks, 1 hit allowed. Had himself a 1-2-3 second inning. Breaking pitch, reaching for it, rolls it over to Crone. 1 out.
I like how aggressive Skaggs was to be able to finish off Getz, not just wasting an 0-2 pitch. Make it a quality pitch and get an easy ground ball out. So far, 4 ground ball outs in the game for Skaggs. It's a good sign for him.
Ray has one of those ground ball outs in the first, chopping one to Howie Kendrick. He'll look at a strike.
Another good changeup. We've seen some pretty good changeups from Skaggs already early part of the game. A couple really good ones to Bautista. To get back into the count, was behind 2-0, then 2-1, and end up evening the count with 2 really good changeups.
0-2 on the way. This one's popped up on the infield. Crone broke back, now comes in. 2 outs. Six in a row retired by Tyler Skaggs, is giving up the RBI double to Edwin Encarnacion in the first. And now we'll deal with Melky Cabrera, who grounded out to third in the first inning. Cabrera hitting .279 from the right side so far this year, .360 from the left. Lifts this one on the first base side. Crone again, this time near the foul line. Makes
all the outs.
That's the way to do it. A 1-2-3, another shutdown inning. 3 complete, 4-1 Angels. John McDonald will lead things off. He'll be followed by Eric Ibar and Mike Trout. Todd Redmond still on the mound. John McDonald fouls one back. No balls and a strike. John getting to start at third, struck out looking. Second inning. 549 career games as a Blue Jay. 0-2 now.
He's a fighting Phil, too. I'm sure he'll get a hero's reception at Citizen Bank Park on Tuesday.
This one pulled foul. Heads up, D-Sar. Count remains at no balls, 2 strikes. Well, I would imagine on that pecking order as far as parades and the like, John McDonald's down on the list. With Trouty leading the charge. This one pulled toward the hole. Reyes can't get it. It's a single to lead off this 4th inning. You know, a lot of the folks from Millville, New Jersey will be there.
Well, Labanya's had some good years with the Phillies, too.
Yeah, Mike Scioscia's from the area. Terry Smith's from the area. And then the parade that we all have to attend for Mark Kubica.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it'll be thousands upon thousands. Or not. Maybe 2.
How many tickets you leave?
I have my 3 brothers are coming, so I have 3 people coming.
3? All 3, huh?
Yes.
Looking forward to meeting them.
Yes, well, you should.
Might solve a lot of things for me.
They know the same thing. I don't recall everything.
Off-speed pitch in for a strike on Ibar. That's usually the best way to go.
Yes.
I can neither confirm nor deny. Eric Ibar 1 for 2. A fly ball to right in the first inning. A single to right field in the second.
See if some point during this at bat, the Dino Evil will have McDonald going on a hit and run.
Halos with 3 in the second, 1 in the fourth. Or pardon me, 1 in the third. We are in the fourth. Ibar shoots it foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Boy, is he allowing the baseball to travel deeper in the zone. Boy, real comfortable at the plate, Eric Ibar.
Redmond came in and got the last 2 outs in the third inning, replacing Jay Happ, who gave up 4 runs all earned, 2 1/3. 7 hits, including 2 home runs. Iannetta got him a 2-run shot in the second. C.J. Cron, his first big league home run in the third. Happ with 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. A breaking pitch, fouled back, protected with 2 strikes. John McDonald with a leadoff single, standing at first base. Trout on deck. This one down toward left center. Bautista playing shallow, drifting to his right. 1 out. Take a look at our Honda upcoming schedule after today. 2 more games here in Toronto. A day game tomorrow, night game on Monday. And then after going through customs, land in Philadelphia about 2, 3 a.m. Night game on Tuesday, and then a day game on Wednesday before returning home for a nice homestand.
We'll take a run up at Art Museum steps, you and Rocky.
Yeah.
For the pregame show.
I'll try. But that, 3-4 game series in the span of 3 weeks. This one, the Rays, and then 4 in Seattle.
Yeah, you don't see that too often.
First one to Trout's a breaking ball for a strike.
Teams end up not liking each other a whole lot after you get to that 4th game.
Trout is 0 for 1. He struck out in the first inning, walked in the second. McDonald looks like he's leaning over at first base. Doesn't go, and this one's pulled to short. Reyes almost bobbled it for a second. Getz hasn't beat it at first in time. A double play. Even with that little bobble, they turn the double play. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Angels maintaining a 4-1 lead.
Tyler Skaggs has been very good, but did not look the ball into his glove in that first inning. Bautista, after some quality pitches, took his eye off the baseball. Been throwing the ball so well, but at that particular point, fielding position, important. Unable to make the play, and they eventually scored a run in that inning and cost himself an extra 9 pitches. But since that point, though, Tyler has locked it in.
Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 against Tyler Skaggs, Bautista, Encarnacion, and Navarro. A double play that Trout hit into just a second that he's hit into all season. Tyler, 3 innings, 1 strikeout, no walks, 1 hit allowed. Bautista takes upstairs. He reached on the error by Tyler Skaggs in the first. He's 0 for 1. Eventually scored on the double by Encarnacion. Pops this one up. C.J. Cron drifting back. Howie Kendrick calls him off. 1 out.
Yeah, easier play for a second baseman than an angle going to get that pop up as compared to the first baseman going straight back. Good job by Howie. Good communication.
Boy, some of the swings you're getting from right-handers and the results you're getting from right-handed batters would lead you to believe that that two-seamer is back for Tyler.
Boy, when we talked yesterday about that, he felt that he needed to get back to that confidence in that pitch. In his side session in between starts, he really focused on making sure he had that good sinking action on his two-seamer.
Encarnacion hits a towering shot to left. Grant Green hesitating for a moment, comes in, makes the catch, 2 outs. So 2 quick outs, especially with the 3 and 4 hitters. Now with the bases cleared, Diana Navarro coming to the plate.
50 pitches thrown by Tyler, 33 in the strike zone. Good ratio for him. See that late little movement away. Delivery from Skaggs. Very effective pitch.
Fouled that one back.
Well, even better pitch. See, when you first pitch you throw in that outside corner with a sinker and you get that called strike, you can go a little bit further off, and that's what he did. So now he has the option to go a little further off the plate, or he could bounce a breaking ball down and in.
Navarro hit a fly ball to center field to end the 1st inning.
I like what Iannetta did. He was setting well off the plate, but still was close enough that Navarro had to track that pitch. Let's go change up here.
Chopper back over the mound. Kendrick is there, however. And another 1, 2, 3 inning for Tyler Skaggs. That's 10 in a row since giving up the double to Encarnacion in the first. Through 4, Angels still on top.
cable. Enjoy better. Call 1-855-WANT-TWC. And by Hyundai. Hyundai leaves the rest wanting. Find out why by visiting buyhyundai.com today.
And you wonder what Jeter's paddleboard was up to.
Oh, it's amazing how it made it all the way up here to Toronto.
Cleared customs and everything. Pujols, Kendrick, and Crone for the Halos here in the fifth, up 4-1. Albert shoots one into right field. That is a base hit, if not more. Tolleson racing after it. Albert will turn the corner, head towards second, and he is in there, standing up with a double. 9th double of the season.
Only going the other way. It's good to see that from Pujols. He's hit a couple baseballs well today. Nothing to show for it, but this good swing going the other way. Double to right field. Now in scoring position as the Angels try to add on.
533rd career double. One shy of tying Lou Gehrig. Howie Kendrick at the plate. Late on that one, and it's no balls and a strike. Howie 1 for 2, a double leading off the second inning and a run scored. And he also struck out leading off the third.
You can tell what Howie was trying to do, trying to hit the ball to the right side. Perfect guy to have up here in this situation to get the job done. In advance, at the very least, Pujols to third.
Oh-2 count.
Redmond's trying to run that two-seamer in on Howie, which makes it more difficult to hit to the right side.
Just ask Grant Green.
Yeah. Down and in, you can still get the job done, but it's elevated, and that two-seamer running in on your belt, it's hard to do.
Double by Albert, the 9th hit for the Halos so far. He dropped down. Second time we've seen him do that, and both times missing up and into a righty.
And when you're a sinker ball pitcher and you drop down, it's going to have lateral movement. You're going to hit a lot of batters when you run that one in.
Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Redmond had 6 batters last year. 17 games. Originally the Pirate system, a 39th round pick in 04. The 1-2 again. It's the ground ball to the right side. Encarnacion takes it himself. Pujols will advance to third, 1 out.
Well, a good productive out by Howie. Now with C.J. Crone coming to the plate, let's take a look at our AT&T Uverse rewind for C.J. Crone. Early in the game, single up the middle. This one, a tremendous shot to left center field. His first career home run in the majors. Had a great game so far. Halfway to the cycle. Single the home run.
2 runs batted in. Infield in for Toronto. Foul back. CJ now 10 for 22 to start his big league career. Four runs, 9 hits, an error, and 4 left on for the Halos. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left on for Toronto. That pitch in off the plate. Evens up the count. Crone with 2 hits. Inetta with 2 hits. 5 and 6 in the order this afternoon. And now Kratz is going to go out and talk things over.
Each with a single, each with a home run.
One pitch. Crone fouls it off to the right. Albert leading off this 5th inning with a double. Moved over to third on the ground out by Howie. 9th double of the year. Albert's first hit of the series, although he's squared up the baseball a couple of times already in the first 2 games. And a swing and a miss. Down goes Crone. 2 outs. Slider got him. Redmond picks up his first strikeout.
That slider from Redmond so far in this game is nasty. Off the outside corner, sharp late break.
Here's Chris Iannetta. Mentioned the 2-for-2 performance so far. 3rd home run of the season. A 2-run shot back in the 2nd. No balls, 2 strikes.
Back-to-back sliders to Iannetta. See if he does that drop down, runs a fastball in here now. Go back to another slider.
Iannetta fouls it off to the right.
Became a very hittable slider. Got a lot of the plate. You're on the mound, you have an 0-2 count, you're throwing a slider. You want to make sure it's off the plate. You don't want to catch middle part.
Halos trying to not waste that leadoff double. He dropped down and misses with that fastball.
Especially after a good at bat by Howie to ground it to Encarnacion at first to advance. Pulls to third base. Good productive out.
Now the 1-2. Iannetta skies one out to right center field. It's playable for Bautista, the center fielder, and the Angels do waste that leadoff double by Albert Pujols. 1 for 5 with men in scoring position so far, but still lead it. On to the first. 1 strikeout, no walks, 1 hit. Kratz grounded out, leading off the 2nd. Start behind the plate this afternoon. He swings the first one and fouls it off, cheating on a fastball. Kratz was with the Phillies last year, 68 games, .213 average, 9 home runs in those 68 games, 26 runs batted in.
He's always looking to get that fastball in the inner half.
One ball, one strike. That came over in trade with Philadelphia this offseason. Brad Lincoln, reliever, going to the Phillies. Pratt's a native of Lansdale, Pennsylvania. 1-1, bouncer to third. McDonald has it a big hop, fires over to first, using the turf, one out.
David Concepcion, it's Cincinnati type play, using that turf to skip it across quickly. C.J. Cron, nice play by John McDonald. It's a deep throw, about as far as you can get as a third baseman, but that one hopper, it's Kratz at first.
Got rid of it quickly, too.
Well played. It's course knowledge.
That's exactly right. Juan Francisco, the third baseman, up. The only strikeout that Skaggs has picked up. That was back in the second.
At least that's a good movement on his four-seam fastball also. Generally, when we talk about four-seam fastball and two-seam fastball, four-seam fastball, generally a truer fastball, more cut action. Two-seam fastball, not quite as firm, but it has sinking action.
One and two.
That was a slower breaking ball from Skaggs at 73. He has a harder, quicker break on the curveball also.
Francisco goes down looking on the inside corner of fastball. Two down.
Paints that fastball 92. It's a four-seam true fastball. Hard of the plate. You have a batter up there looking for a breaking ball because of the pitch before at 73.
Two outs for Steve Tollefson, the right fielder. Tollefson swinging first pitch, fouls it off. He's 0 for 1 so far. The fly ball to right field in the second. It's been all of last year at AAA. 288. He's had some other big league time. The Oakland A's and the Baltimore Orioles. Originally a fifth-round pick by the Twins in 05 at the University of South Carolina.
A lot better pace from Skaggs today.
.63 pitches. This is the 64th. Tollefson gets jammed, rolls it foul. Jay Happ got the start for Toronto. Got knocked out in the third inning, giving up 4 runs and 2 in the third. 7 hits, allowed 2 home runs, 4 strikeouts and a walk. Todd Redmond has settled things down. He's gone 2 2/3 so far. Scoreless baseball. Dino Abel serving as the interim manager. Mike Scioscia scheduled to be back tomorrow.
Congratulations to his daughter Taylor for graduating.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Slightly better crowd today than we saw last night. A lot of folks up in the upper deck. Count remains at 1-2. Would have been much better had they been able to open up the roof here. It's a gorgeous day outside.
Oh, beautiful. And tomorrow is supposed to be perfect too.
Yeah. Good old Sky Dome, as it was originally called. Opened in 1989. Now the Rogers Center. This place used to be packed back in the day. 4 million fans.
Yes. They had 50,000 every single game.
1-2 again. That's down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
We've had some really, really good players over the years put on this uniform for Toronto. Couple World Series championships back in '92 and '93. Hall of Famer Roberto Alomar's number 12.
Good little battle here between Skaggs and Tollison. Paul Beeston back in the front office. Gone back to their roots as far as the uniform and the logos. Good look, unique. Skaggs is throwing everything in the kitchen sink here, Tollison, trying to finish off this 5th inning.
Go 2-seamer away here. Well, when you're on the mound, you have a guy up there that's found off all your tough pitches. It can be frustrating. Next pitch will be pitch number 10 from Skaggs to Tollison.
Going back outside. Tollison takes a called strike 3. A 1-2-3 inning yet again. 13 in a row retired by the Angel lefty.
Baseball is brought to you by the all-new 4-door Fiat 500L. Visit FiatUSA.com and head to Jack in the Box and try the new Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. It's Jack's hottest sandwich yet.
4-1 Halos, top of the 6th inning. It's Queens Park, the legislative buildings in Toronto. It's where the Prime Minister lives, I believe. John A. McDonald.
John A. McDonald. Of course.
Grant Green, Colin Cowgill, John McDonald. Speaking of which, it's the bottom third of the order facing Todd Redmond. Green struck out looking to second, had his bat shattered by Redmond in the third. 0 for 2. Slow roller foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Little flare out to shallow right, and it's a leadoff single. Hey folks, the Halos take on the Rays on Friday at 7:05, and fans in attendance will receive an Angels camo hat courtesy of State Farm while supplies last. Purchase your tickets at the Angels Stadium ticket officer by logging on at angels.com. Camo.
Looking forward to that one.
If it weren't for the red bill.
Never know it was there.
There's Colin Cowgill. See if the Angels start something here with Green picking up that leadoff single. 3 straight innings in which the Angels have had their leadoff man reach. Colin looks at strike 1.
Surprising pitch by Redmond, considering he broke the bat of Grant Green on a fastball in. He just throws a slider, and Grant did a nice job of serving that in the right field.
Green takes off. Cowgill doesn't swing the bat, and Green is thrown out. Yeah, that looked like a botch hit and run.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it. First base runner the Kratz has thrown out this season.
Dino Abel might go out there talk with Larry Vanover here about the play at second.
See if a tag was applied. That's real close. It was a high tag.
Looked like it got him.
It's going to be one of those extremely close calls again as looks in. Rick Eckstein.
I mean, Cowgill, you talk about a pitch to a hit and run on. It was fastball. So 1 out, nobody out, and a 0-2 count on Cowgill, who's 1 for 2 so far today. Single back in the second. Little flare out to shallow center field. Bautista comes racing in, can't get there. It falls in for a hit.
And you have to place that perfectly, get in front of Bautista as shallow as he plays in center field. Perfectly placed sand wedge from Cowgill. And another good candidate for a hit and run here for Cowgill. Runs well. McDonald handles the bat well. 1 for 2 in the game.
McDonald single to left field his last time up, so he's 1 for 2. Base hit by Cowgill, the 11th hit for the Halos. As we play here with 1 out of the 6th. One and 0. First double-digit hit game for the Angels since last Saturday. That was the 5-3 win over Texas. McDonald fouls one off to the first base side, headed toward the seats behind the dugout. One and one. Angels scoring 3 times in the second, 1 in the third. Step off and throw over. Redmond, a guy who's been a starter before. He's thrown 43 pitches, 35 strikes. There's 1 strikeout, no walks, 4 hits allowed. Two and one.
He's done a real nice job as far as slowing down the bats for the most part for the Angels, especially the power bats. Perfect hit and run count, 2-1 count with one out.
Good lead for Cowgill at first. He takes off. McDonald breaks his bat and hits a little one hopper back to the mound. 2 outs. Cowgill in scoring position now for Ibar as we go back and revisit the Hyundai key to the game.
That the key is sky full of stars. The home run ball today. 2 big home runs, one by Iannetta and one by C.J. Cron, his first major league home run. Angels lead this one 4-1. Chance to get more.
Ibar lifted a fly ball to center in his last plate appearance, and that was against Redmond on the afternoon. 1 for 3, single back in the second. And in scoring position in Colin Cowgill. Outfield shallow with Ibar at the plate. He made up his mind early. He's going to hack and got a slider.
He was thinking he's got a lot of first pitch fastballs in these first 2 games, including the first pitch of the game last night when he hit a double down the left field line, ground rule double.
That was off starter Dustin McGowan. One and one. Prior to last year, Redmond had 1 game in the big leagues. That was with the Reds in 2012. 1-1 pitch. Ibar fouls it off. 1-2. Longest relief outing as far as pitches thrown this year for Redmond, 68 pitches. That was back on April 17th at Minnesota. Went 3 2/3 in now when he's done that twice. Lays off. 2-2.
Would be surprised if he threw that exact same pitch once again. Ibar almost went after that slider, did not. But as a pitcher, when you see that, you think in terms, I'm going to try that again.
Two. That's inside. Dropped down a little bit. So full count. Trout on deck. Here's the payoff. Ibar chops this one towards short. Reyes comes racing in. Off balance. Throw and he throws it away. Cowgill comes in to score, and it's 5-1 Angels.
Yeah, Cowgill never stopped on that ground ball right away. Picked up DiSarcina, and he was going home and scores easily. Even though the ball got away from Encarnacion, if he catches that, I still think Cowgill scores.
I still think Ibar is safe, too. Good hustle by Eric.
Never stopped. Yeah, I think he's beating that out anyhow. That should be an infield hit. Boy, as if that was a base hit into the outfield. Never hesitated. That's a big run.
It is a base hit. It's an error on Reyes, allowing Cowgill to score. So no RBI. And here's Stroud with the man on.
I like how aggressive Cowgill was. He picked up Gary DiSarcina. Right away, DiSar was sending him home, waving him home. Especially on a slow roller like that, it's going to be a difficult play for a first baseman to catch and then throw.
Trout 0 for 2. Trout hits one out toward left center field. Cabrera moving over is there. Makes a catch. Will end the inning, but the Halos do tack on a run on 3 hits, 1 error, and leave a man on. They lead at 5-1. Five-1 as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Tyler Skaggs to face 9-1-2. 3 strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit allowed. That was back in the 1st inning.
Important thing, no walks, 3 punch-outs. For Skaggs, 71 pitches thrown through 5 innings.
Chris Getz ready to lead things off. He bounced out to Crone, leading off the 3rd inning. One ball, no strikes. 72nd pitch of the night for Tyler. Of course, got extended in that plate appearance against Steve Tollison. Going 11 pitches, but eventually getting a strikeout. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ray is on deck. Melky Cabrera after that. One and two.
Another good fastball. Pitch before that at 90 was elevated. That one down to the knees at 90.
Breaking ball, missed a little bit high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Not a bad idea.
Real good idea for that breaking ball. 25 pitches in the 1st, 75 pitches overall for Skaggs. Very economical.
Getz breaks his bat and rolls one over to Kendrick. 1 away. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in True HD on over 400 devices. Visit Angels.com for details. 12 years of MLB.TV. It's crazy.
It's going by quick.
Remember the days of .com starting MLB Radio in their offices in Chelsea. Reyes takes outside. Blue Jays shortstop 0 for 2. A pop up the last time up. Grounded out in the 1st.
7 ground ball outs so far for Skaggs. 6 fly ball outs. Spreading around, 3 punch outs.
One and two. Well, showing no signs of shell shock of the last start against the Texas Rangers. He's come out, he's been aggressive the whole time, and that first inning kind of expanded on him just because he didn't make a play. This one's popped up. C.J. Cron.
And I think what he was able to do, get through that inning, is limit the damage after the base hit double by Encarnacion. He's been fantastic since that point, maturing as a pitcher. So he was pretty funny when on the pregame show today, talking about famous people from Santa Monica High School. Joked around as far as Rob Lowe and Charlie Sheen, Sean Penn, who's the most famous. There's a lot of good baseball players from there too. I said, but hey, you got out David Wright and Bryce Harper. He goes, well, I guess it is me then. Well, he's been famous here today so far, that's for sure.
He's been solid. Melky Cabrera at the plate. Cabrera's grounded to third and popped out to C.J. Cron. The third pop-up to Cron is caught this afternoon. This one's lined to right. Cowgill is there. 15 in a row retired by Skaggs. We've played 6. It is 5-1 Angels.
Insurance Brokers, insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible.
Top of the 7th here at the Rogers Center. The Halos up by the score of 5-1 on a beautiful afternoon for indoor baseball. 12 hits for the Halos, 1 for the Blue Jays. It'll be Pujols, Kendrick, and Cron here in the 7th against Redmond. Albert takes upstairs. Pujols led off the 5th inning with a double into right field. He's 1 for 3, but Albert eventually stranded at third base. 1 ball, 1 strike. Redmond now at 55 pitches in Toronto, starting to get some action going in their bullpen. 3 2/3 innings for Redmond so far. Bounce a foul. 1-2. Esmiel Rogers starting to play catch. Albert just missed a grand slam in the second inning. Rare making the catch in front of the bullpen. Two balls, two strikes.
He likes that drop down fastball. He hasn't been able to throw it for a strike yet, though.
Nope. Not too many guys can. Albert lifts one out to right. Thomason moving in and over. One out.
That's a look from a guy who's hit a lot of baseballs out of the ballpark, and he felt in his mind he had a pitch to crush and got underneath it.
Howie's had a 1-for-3 game, a double in the second inning. He's also scored a run. Toronto struck for a run in the first inning. The error by Skaggs and the double by Encarnacion. That is it. Angels struck for 3 in the second inning against Jay Happ. Leadoff double by Kendrick. The single by Crone brought him in. And then Iannetta, 2-run home run. And the Angels a 3-1 lead. Then Crone with 1 out in the third inning. His first major league home run. And 4-1. The Halos tacked on a run in the 6th. Howie fouling it back 1-2. And all the while, Tyler Skaggs has been cruising. He's looked extremely sharp. He's retired 15 consecutive batters into the bottom of the 7th inning. He'll face Bautista, Encarnacion, and Navarro. Howie pulls one over to third. Francisco has it. High throw, but Encarnacion gets the ball down, or the foot down, I should say. For the second out. Francisco to Encarnacion.
We saw him playing first base last year for Milwaukee. Hasn't been real active as far as getting many opportunities at first base. Got underneath his throw. He's got a strong throwing arm, but almost airmailed it. And Encarnacion was able to get his foot back on the base.
CJ 2 for 3. RBI single in the second, the home run in the third, a strikeout against Redmond in the 5th. Breaking ball for a strike. This one lifted out to right center. Thomason has to come in. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Redmond. 7th inning stretch time in Toronto. The Halos with a 5-1 lead.
Skaggs has been fantastic, but with 2 outs in the first, a ground ball by Bautista up the middle off the glove of Tyler Skaggs. Then Encarnacion doubles down the left field line. scoring, Bautista. That was the only hit so far that Tyler has allowed. Just the only 2 base runners that Skaggs has allowed in this game. He has been fantastic. This 1 hit allowed through 6 innings for him.
Jose Bautista to lead things off. 0 for 2, reached on an error in the first and scored and popped out to Howie Kendrick in the 4th. Pretty good pitch. 1 ball, no strikes.
Good changeup.
Yeah. 3 strikeouts for Skaggs, no walks. '84th pitch of the night. The afternoon, I should say. Just feels like night here at the Dome. This one's popped up behind the plate. Netta gets rid of the mask, has a play, 1 out.
Well, that's when you know you're throwing well on a fastball count, 2-0 count. You get one of the best fastball hitters in the American League to pop it up. That's why you throw strikes. Hitters can get themselves out.
Here's Encarnacion, who doubled in the first inning with a fly ball to left in the 4th. He jumped at the first pitch in the 4th inning, just got underneath it. Oh, and 1. This one's out toward right center field. Calgill has to race over and in. 2 down.
Two quick outs here in the 7th for Skaggs.
And 2 big boy bats, too. So Deanna Navarro will bat with 2 outs. The base is clear. Off the plate. Navarro, a fly ball to center and a ground ball to second. Pulled toward third. McDonald has it. Boy, Tyler Skaggs pushed that cruise control button with 2 outs in the first, and he hasn't let off.
CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax. Start here. And by Mercury Insurance. Save big on your auto insurance. Get a fast, free quote at mercuryinsurance.com today and see how much you can save.
Oh, the CN Tower, adjacent to the Rogers Center. Gonna do the open from there tomorrow?
Yeah, you can do it.
Leaning off the thing, strapped in.
Yeah, you can do that.
Top of the 8th inning, 5-1. Angels lead it. John Gibbons has gone to the bullpen. John Redmond did a terrific job for 4 2/3, giving up an unearned run on 5 hits. And it's Esmiel Rogers taking over here. Guy that has started in the past 13 games, no record, and a 7.16 ERA so far this year.
Yeah, fastball is 93 to 97. Slider, cut fastball, curveball, split finger fastball, but 5 home runs allowed in 16 1/3. So he elevates the fastball.
Chris Iannetta, Grant Green, Colin Cowgill for the Angels here in the 8th inning. Iannetta 2 for 3 with a home run and a single. 2 runs batted in. Iannetta skies one to shallow left field. Melky Cabrera comes in. 1 out. That'll bring up Grant Green. After the last out, we will break things down for you on Angels Live post game, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. One out, nobody on for Grant. Picked up a single in the 6th inning. Green fouls it back.
He ran that 94-mile-an-hour fastball inside.
Rogers with the tantalizing stuff. Command's been part of the problem.
He's got a wipeout breaking ball, great fastball, solid split finger fastball also. Yet the ERA is always high. He just makes mistakes. That's a nice slider he has right there.
Green, this one fouled out of play on the first base side. So the count remains at no balls, 2 strikes. Rogers just 28 years of age, native of the Dominican Republic. 5-9 last year. 20 starts. This one into right field. Tollison moving over toward the foul line. Puts it away, 2 outs. 4.77 ERA for Rogers last season. Blue Jays picked him up, and they gave up Mike Aviles and Yan Gomes to the Cleveland Indians. Exchange for the righty.
Well, Yan Gomes is a very solid defender behind the plate with a great arm. Cowgill, another solid game today.
A couple of hits for him. 2 singles and a run scored.
That big run scored, that 5th run when he didn't stop it. He was a second base on an infield hit by Eric Ibar.
One ball, 1 strike. No action in the Angels' pen, and why would there be, with Tyler Skaggs having retired the last 19 in a row? He'll face Kratz, Francisco, and Tollison, 6, 7, and 8 in the 8th. 1 and 2 on Cowgill.
Focus still there. Excellent command of his pitches today.
'89 pitches thrown by Skaggs. The 1-2. Cowgill chops this one to short. 2 hopper for Reyes. The Angels go down in order. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. The Angels maintaining a 5-1 lead. 5-1 Angels. Eric Kratz, the catcher, to lead things off against Tyler Skaggs, who has 3 strikeouts, no walks, and 1 hit allowed. Now he's back in the first inning. 19 in a row retired since that double. Last start lasting just 2 2/3. He is right now at 89 pitches. Kratz, the catcher, twice has grounded out. Once the second, once the third. Swings the first one, bounces it over to the left side. McDonald cuts it off. And 1 pitch, 1 out. So they get 20 in a row.
He's been around the strike zone, so you're going to be aggressive as a hitter against him.
That's how Darvish started off the game yesterday, retiring the first 20 in a row. Until the David Ortiz pop-up that dropped and rightfully called an error.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see that called a base hit. That's a routine out. Just because you didn't get leather on the baseball doesn't mean it should be a hit.
David Ortiz eventually got a base hit through the shift with 2 outs in the 9th. Swing and a miss by Francisco. He has struck out twice this afternoon. 1 strikeout swinging, once looking.
Yeah, the last time Skaggs froze him with a fastball right down the heart of the plate.
Oh, 2.
That fastball had some good running action. Tell by the swing. Francisco.
Oh, 2 down. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Iannetta, though. Chris fires it onto first. Got him. What completes a strikeout.
What a game Iannetta is having. What a perfect throw. He's fading away on his throw also. Tough breaking ball in the dirt. Skaggs has a chance to expand the zone. Not only be able to track that baseball, but throw it on the move in a perfect throw. Crone at first.
Here's Steve Tolleson, the right-hander. Saw 11 pitches in the 5th before striking out. Takes down and in.
I credit Chris Iannetta for really handling Tyler Skaggs extremely well today.
This one's pulled in left field, and that's going to go for extra bases. Tolleson on his way to second, and it's a 2-out double. Second hit allowed by Skaggs.
Boy, one of the few pitches that he really didn't get where he wanted to throw it. Mike Butcher, able talking as far as where they are in the lineup. Boy, right down the heart of the plate. Tolleson has certainly seen enough of the pitches against Skaggs in this game. Tucked his hands in and hits that one down the left field line for a double. His 4th of the season.
So Chris Getz will bat. Skaggs hasn't worked from the stretch since the 1st. Getz is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. Nice stretch for Skaggs. 21 consecutive batters retired. 1-0. Some scrambling going on in the Angels' pen. Nobody warming as of yet. You have the top of the order coming up next.
And you'll see that a lot, especially when you've been out at a full windup for such a long period of time. Your first pitch out of the stretch was out of the strike zone.
Ground ball towards short. Ibar has it, gets rid of it quickly, and we will head to the 9th. The Angels maintaining a 5-1 lead. Tyler Skaggs has the jacket on, and you got to give him that opportunity to go out there and try to complete the game. He's never had a complete game. This is the third time in his career in which he has thrown 8 innings.
It's 97 pitches thrown. Back to his normal, going deep in the games.
Rogers out for his second inning of work. He'll face McDonald, Ibar, and Trout. John McDonald, the third baseman today, 1 for 3. That one almost got him. 1 ball, no strikes. Five runs and 12 hits for the Angels. Strand at 6. Toronto with 1 run on 2 hits, both doubles. 4 strikeouts for Skaggs. Down a foot to the strike. 1 and 2. The Blue Jays in the 9th will have the top of their order coming up, and Reyes, Cabrera, and Bautista. Donald fouls it back, protecting his at bat. Rogers himself had a 1-2-3-8, a couple of fly ball outs and a ground out. Back at it again tomorrow afternoon here. Drew Hutchison going for Toronto. Jared Weaver on the hill for the Angels. .105 start tomorrow. 10 a.m. back home.
Perfect. Wake up, check out the Angel game.
And you get the whole rest of the afternoon to go do whatever it is you like.
Relaxing on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's Mother's Day to boot.
Yeah. Johnny Mack fouling that one off his foot.
That split finger fastball off the back foot.
Out.
Boy, that's a real tough one, especially that's your plant foot. So you got all your weight on that back leg, and then you fouled it right off your foot.
Never expect that either.
No.
Eric Ibar on deck. He went around. Adrian Johnson rings it up. 1 down. As promised early in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. You can tweet that photo to hashtag WestFanPhoto for to have it shown, or a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. All right.
Like that one.
That's a Pharrell Trout hat. She's happy.
No question.
I would imagine. Hear that? She's going to Arby's. Ibar takes down and in. Roast beef sandwich.
Oh, yes.
Cheddar cheese on it. Ibar 2 for 4. A couple of singles, a couple of fly ball outs. 1-1.
Still focused. Talked about that in the 7th. We're on the 9th. And same look from Skaggs.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Chris Iannetta has been fantastic too with the bat and the glove today. Working very well with Skaggs. That was not an easy play too to throw at Francisco running down the line on that slider in the dirt.
2-2 on the way. Down and in. So a full count now on Eric. Trout on deck. Try to go off speed on him. You see Ibar smiling at Rogers. At this stage of the game, don't you just want to just get out of the mound?
Yeah,
let's go make three quick outs.
You're fine. That 5 runs is good for you, although you would always like to add on here, but you're ready to go. Your focus is there to get out to the mound.
Ibar pops it up on the left side. 2 down.
Well, you won't be upset if Mike Trout come up and hit a solo shot here, though.
Trout hitless today, 0 for 3. Tyler Skaggs will have an opportunity to pick up his first complete game. He'll have to go through the top of the order for the Blue Jays to get there. Pitch missed inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Trout with a strikeout, a walk, a double play ball. Second one he's hit into this year, and a fly ball to left. Two on now. 2-2. We've seen Mike really put himself in the hole.
Well, that was a hanging breaking ball, too. When you're hot and you're seeing the ball well, that ball is going to be hit a long way.
2-2 on the way. This one's pulled over to third. Sharply hit, but right to Francisco. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning with the Angels up 5-1. Tyler Skaggs back to work. He has been solid so far, and he'll face Jose Reyes, Melky Cabrera, and Jose Bautista.
Just keep that same focus, the way you've gotten these hitters out the entire game. Don't do anything different. Don't look ahead to that third out. Look ahead to the first out right here with Reyes, a very dangerous hitter.
Tyler gets in any trouble here in the ninth inning. Joe Smith getting ready. First one to Reyes. Off the plate. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Reyes is 0 for 3. Ground down a couple of pop-ups to C.J. Cron. One. By the way, the 21 consecutive batters retired by Skaggs. It's the most in a row by a starter in one game in Major League Baseball this year. CJ had a stretch in which he retired 18 in a row on his April 30th start against Cleveland. 1-1. Well, that looked like a good pitch, caught the inside corner.
And that crossed the front part of the plate quite a bit.
2 balls, 1 strike.
100th pitch of the game now for Skaggs.
The most pitches he's thrown in the game is 105. In the air, down the right field line. Long run for Cowgill, but it's headed toward the seats. It's 2-2. 105 pitch performance for Skaggs back on August 27th of 2012. Now is at 5 2/3. Two. Reyes, ground ball towards short. Ibar has it, spins around, throws to first. You're not going to get Reyes. That's an infield base hit. Nice effort by Eric Ibar with the leadoff man on board for Toronto here in the ninth.
It doesn't matter if Reyes hitting right-handed or left-handed. Once Ibar has to spin around to throw the first, there's no way you're throwing him out. A good play by Ibar, though. On a regular surface, he's probably in position to make that play and throw out Reyes, but on this turf, it's quick.
There's Melky Cabrera. Each hits one up the middle as a base hit. So first 2 have reached. And with Bautista coming up, you wonder if Dino decides to go to Joe Smith, who is ready to go in the bullpen if necessary.
Yeah, I think Dino's going to make that decision. You can't let this youngster have one of these games get away from him. He has been excellent. He gave up a couple of ground ball base hits here in the ninth.
So Dino has gone to the bullpen. That's going to be it for Tyler Skaggs. Fantastic performance today. 103 pitches, but he'll depart with a couple of men on base. We're in the ninth inning. 5-1 Angels. Unable to get the 1 or 2 outs here in the 9th inning, but fantastic outing for the young man.
Yeah, the bottom line, they were ground ball hits. There's nothing you can do about that. You're keeping the ball down. It just well placed. Threw a lot of first pitch strikes. 29 batters faced, 17 strikes for Skaggs. Now it's up to Joe Smith to get that ground ball right in an infielder to be able to turn 2.
Bautista 0 for 3. First pitch swinging. Taps it foul. It's no balls and a strike. Smith pitched last night. 1 inning, 1 run, 2 hits. Gave up the home run to Reyes. And also had a strikeout. That was in the 8th inning. Reyes at second, Cabrera at first. Nobody out here in the 9th. Bautista off the end of the bat. And the Angels have gotten him to be over anxious through almost 2 games now. It's an 0-2 count.
And that's what you want to do against a very good hitter. That seed of doubt, what to look for.
Bautista hit that long single off the wall and left off Smith yesterday. 0-2 pitch. Breaking pitch. Breaks his bat. Loops for the center field. That'll fall in for a hit. Reyes is being waved around. He'll score. And it is 5-2. Good pitch, but off the end of the bat. Snaps the lumber. Bautista picks up his 24th run batted in.
What we've seen out of Bautista this year, better coverage for the outer part of the plate. More so looking at everything on the inside part. This is a slider off the plate. It was elevated enough, though. He was able to flare it in. If it's down, maybe he hits the ball on the ground, but strong enough to fight that into the outfield, especially no doubles defense for a base hit.
Edwin Encarnacion, the first baseman at the plate. Still nobody out. First one. Slider in for a strike. Encarnacion 1 for 3. RBI double in the first inning. One pitch. This is pulled over to third. McDonald with a diving stop. Fires to Kendrick for 1. Relay to first. Not in time. What a play by John McDonald.
Wow. And a hard slide at second. You hope Howie's okay. Bautista preventing a strong throw. And I think Dino's going to check this play out. What a play by McDonald.
Just to keep that ball on the infield at full extension.
I mean, this ball was hit well by Encarnacion. That ball was by him. And a good throw from his knees. And a hard slide.
It's a no challenge by Dino. 1 out, runners at the corners, and Deanna Navarro coming up.
I think it's that hard slide from Bautista to prevent it. Howie from getting everything on his throw. A late hard slide at second. And that's exactly what DiSarcina and Alfredo Griffin were talking about. That hard slide to prevent the stronger throw from Howie.
Navarro, the DH today, 0 for 3. A fly to center, 2 ground ball outs against Tyler Skaggs. And now Inetta and Smith are going to talk things over here. Encarnacion has a couple of stolen bases, has not been caught stealing. But at this stage of the game, I can't imagine that he's on the move.
Boy, that'd be a really risky situation. You're thrown out. Be a tough one.
Michael Kahn begins to play catch. First one's outside. Ball pulls one into right field, a base hit. It is 5-3. Stopping at second is Encarnacion. Navarro picks up his 16th RBI. That run gets charged to Skaggs. And the book now closed on Tyler. Adam Lind is going to pinch hit here.
Ground ball in the hole between first and second from Navarro. They've got a ball down and in. Encarnacion is able to avoid that ground ball at him. If it hits him, he's out. Navarro would be awarded first base.
Sergio Santos, the reliever, is the pinch runner at first base for Navarro. He represents now the tying run. Adam Lind will pinch hit here for Eric Kratz. Adam Lind hitting .286 on the season. 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in. That one is outside. As a pinch hitter, he's 1 for 1 with 2 runs batted in. Hector Santiago getting ready now. 1 out. The 1-0 pitch. Grounder right back to the mound. Smith fires to Ibar for 1. Relay back to first. Light that baby up as the Angels pick up game 2 by the final of 5-3.
Well played by Joe Smith. No panic. Fields it. Perfect throw to second. 1-6-3 double play. Tyler Skaggs, the story of this game. An outstanding 8 innings pitch. Went into the 9th inning. Gave up 2 ground ball base hits. Enough offense. A couple home runs. C.J. Cron, his first major league home run. Chris Iannetta, a home run himself. 5 runs. Still swung the bat well, but Tyler Skaggs, the story of this game, outstanding. At 1 point, retired 21 straight.
You mentioned that double play that Lind hit into to end the ballgame, but you said right under control.
Textbook, no panic. Picked up his fielder. Perfect throw. Ibar is able to complete 1-6-3 double play. A lot of times you'll see a pitcher too quick on his throw because he fields it so quickly. He made sure Ibar was there at the base. Perfect feed.